Hello everyone, my name is Calypso, representing the Remnants of Hope gaming community from the Elder Scrolls Online division. I am the PvE officer, and today we're going to be talking about the public test server. The Greymoor patch for the public test server is set to go live this coming Monday, April the 20th. And so this video is going to be all about how you can get into the PTS and what you can expect. Now, it's very easy to get into the PTS. It's extremely easy. Actually, you'll notice here I have the launcher open. I have two options underneath games. I have Elder Scrolls Online, which is the live server, and below that, the PTS. These are two separate downloads. But how do you access the PTS to download it in the first place? Very, very simply. You go up here to the gear icon for the settings of your launcher. Click on that. And then you'll see some basic options here, but you're looking for the second to last one here, which is Show Public Test Environment. You're just going to want to check mark that, hit apply, and you're good to go. And then this will have appeared below the live server option there. At that point, you can download it, same as you did the live server. Tell it where to download, blah, 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 and you're good to go. Now, keep in mind, the PTS is a copy of the live server, which means that download is going to be just as big as the base game. So do keep that in mind. If you have the space and you want to join the PTS and have some fun in there, absolutely go for it. But do keep in mind the download is going to be about 60, 70 gigs somewhere in there. I forget what it is most recently. So that's how you get in. Now, what can you expect when you access the PTS for the first time? Well, it'll be just like the first time you ever booted up the game. You'll be brought to your attention will be some end-user license agreements and so on and so forth. You'll go through those. You'll set your brightness settings, everything you did when you first started the game. And then after that, it plays the opening cinematic and so on and so forth. Now, then once you log in, you will be brought to the character select screen. Now, as you can see here, I have all of my tunes from the live server, but they're a little bit different, aren't they? Those of you that are familiar with my Magic and Necromancer will know that he's fully leveled and looks quite a bit different than from this. That's because when the live server is copied, it copies the state that your tunes were in at that time. So, when the live server was copied, in this case it was the North American server, when that was copied, my tunes were in a completely different state than they are today, which is why they're going to look a little bit different. They're going to be a little bit older in terms of their progression. And this is because, again, the North American server was copied. Now, this Monday, April the 20th, they will copy the North American server again, which means the state that your tunes are in on the 20th will be the state that they appear when you log into the PTS. Vice versa, the week after the 20th, they will copy the EU server. And at that point, one assumes that you do not have any tunes on the EU, and you will have to create new ones from scratch if you want to participate in the PTS, which is what we're going to demonstrate here today. Obviously, if your tunes are available in the PTS, you can just access them, but we're going to assume, for the sake of argument, that we're in a situation where the EU server has been copied, and you do not have any tunes on that server. So, let us create a new character. Character creation is exactly the same as it would be on the live server, with a slight difference, and that difference is way up here in the top left. At character creation, you have a few options. These options will change depending on the patch. For example, the most recent update to the PTS came with Harrowstorm, so we have some Harrowstorm labels here. Following that, with Greymoor, we'll have some Greymoor labels. They'll change to reflect that. In this case, we have a couple options. We have a level 25 Harrowstorm character that we can start with right off the bat, or we can make a Harrowstorm max level character, or we can do none and just start from scratch. Which kind of defeats the purpose of the PTS unless you're testing tutorials or something of that nature. For the sake of discussion here, we're going to start with Harrowstorm maximum level, and I'm just going to make a character. What should the character's name be? Talana is Bay. There we go. All right, perfect. Create. Class doesn't really matter here. Skip the tutorial. We shall skip, and we're going to log in. Now, when you choose a max level character and log in, the game will place you somewhere relative to the content that you are testing. So in this case, this is Harrowstorm, So it started me off directly in front of the dungeon Unhallowed Graves, because one assumes that if you brought a character into the PTS for the Harrowstorm patch, or prior to when that patch went live, you want to test the new dungeons. Obviously, I have all of my champion points that I've earned. I've got everything. You're going to be inundated with all of that fun stuff as a max level character. But here are the real benefits of choosing that particular template. You're going to see that we have 1 billion gold to play around with, which is quite a bit. Inventory space is still based at 60, but you're going to see that you have a whole bunch of little boxes here that you can open up. This is everything in the game. Almost every item in the game that you can play around and test with. These open up like those Russian dolls, where you open up and there's a smaller doll inside. That's kind of how these function. So, ability-altering weapons, we can choose from other boxes. Maelstrom, Asylum, Black Rose weapons, yada, yada, yada. If we go back, we can see that we have all the arena sets that we can access, and so on and so forth. Battlegrounds, consumables, all kinds of food, tester's lunchbox, repair kits, all kinds of fun things. If there isn't content that you want to test incoming, the PTS is a great place to theorycraft and develop new builds for characters and parse with them on trial dummies and things like that. And where might you get a trial dummy or something like that? Well, how about from the crown store, where you have 5,500 crowns and everything costs 1. All the fun stuff. Everything. Houses, furniture, all the stuff. This is all for testing. All of it. You can play around with everything. It's very nice. It's very, 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 very cool. And that's really all there is to it. Once you're inside the PTS, the world is your playground in the strongest sense of the term. You can open up whatever set you want and equip it and theorycraft and test things out, or if there's new content, new dungeons, new quests, things of that nature, you can get together with friends also in the PTS and do those things. Now, one of the perks of the North American server having been copied is that ROH, the guild, is alive and well in the PTS. You don't have to create a guild or do anything like that or form up with friends. Very, very convenient. And once again, on the 20th of April, the North American server will be the one that gets copied. So ROH, the guild, will exist within the PTS. So that'll be very, very helpful for us to get together and perform some testing. Conversely, when the European server is copied, we will just have to friend each other and form groups that way, which isn't a big deal either. But that's about it, everybody. I just wanted to give you a quick intro into how to get into the PTS and what the PTS is all about. If you have any questions, please leave them in the thread below. But that about does it for me. So, until next time, I'm Talana Isbay. Goodbye, everybody.